Hello, my name's Dan, welcome back to The Forge, and in today's episode we're going to look at a couple of different ways of making hardy shanks. Not really going to be talking about how to make the actual tool in. This video is all about how I made the shanks for these two tools. I did them with a Smith & Striker. In fact, I used a fly press to do a little bit of the work on this one, and I definitely recommend that. So this video is a little bit of a sequel to when I made this hot cut or hot chisel for a customer, a guy called George, a good friend of mine, and he also ordered this hardy tool as well, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to show you how to make shanks for your tools at home. Now you can use this process for pretty much any tool that goes in a hardy hole, fuller, swage, whatever you want, all right? For all of these tools here, I've used 4130. It's a water quenching tool steel, and the starting material for this one was 50 round, and the starting material for this one was 40 round. And like I said, those size sections of materials are just on the touch on the big side if you're looking at forging it out on your own. You can do it, but I don't recommend it. Right, enjoy the video and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so we're going to start super simple. I'm going to get Luke, I'm going to hold it at like about 30-40 degrees, and I'll get Luke to strike that, yep. And I'm going to turn it through 90, yep. 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 I'm going to keep repeating that. Oh, hang on. Keep repeating that until we get a four-sided taper. Whoop, that'll fit in our hardy hole, so we're a ways off yet. Right, I'm going to get that hot again. Okay, so we don't want to forge the taper down anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a flatter, and I'm going to just raise this up ever so slightly and get Luke to hit that. Yep. 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 We're working the top of the taper. And as we start to develop that taper steeper, yep, or shallower technically, I'm going to start laying it in so it starts matching up. Yep. 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 Two more. Last one. Like so. So we haven't touched this bit here, we've just forged this area back here. So, lovely. Right, a little bit more of that. Okay, we're absolutely flying with this, which is nice. So, just where the taper transitions from round to square, I'm just going to bring this up onto this far side of the anvil now, and I'm going to take, this is a set hammer, rounded face, I'm going to just line those two up. Yep. I'm just going to see if I can get, doesn't have to be special, doesn't have to be very deep, this is just going to help us mark up a transition. Yep. So that we have got a little bit of a shoulder, and this should be this now should have a transition on this side, and that's the mark from the anvil on the opposite side. Yep. Yep. Oh, lovely, well done. Yep. Yep. So now we're just putting this little transition in there and just start developing a slightly smaller area so that we can create a nice long shank for our hardy. Yep. 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 Right, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to take the not quite fitting shank and we're going to pick our direction. I think that goes in a bit deeper that way. I'm going to grab this with ease. I'm going to get Luke here. Yep. Yep. Oh, okay. And I'm going to come in a couple of knocks. Now, it started to peel up some material there, and I don't necessarily want to peel up all that material. So I'm just going to get a rasp now, and I'm just going to take that off with a rasp. Okay, exactly the same process again, but this time we're going to be using some slightly bigger stock, and we need the hardy shank to be slightly bigger. We need it to be 30 square. We're going to use a slightly different process, isolate a piece of material off, take it down to 30 square, then once we're at 30 square I'll put a little bit of a taper on the end so it's just easier to find that hole. We're going to be using the fly press to do this one. So yeah, let's go. Okie dokie, so I am going to take probably 20-ish mil off the end here. It's probably going to be too much, but I can sort it later. And I'm just going to come around in a ring. I'm using fullerene dies because I don't want a sharp edge yet. Now you could do this with a friend on an anvil, spring fullers or top and bottom fuller, but I don't have a very good set of those this size for the anvil, and this is easier. So there. And just like before, I'm going to find a good edge. I'm going to take my set hammer. Yep. Yep. One more. Turn that round. Turn it through 90. Yep. 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 Turn that through 90. And keep it at that. Yep. 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 Okay, so that's the shank part covered. Now, I'm going to go on now and make the tools here. You'll see bits of clips of doing all of that, and any questions you might have about the tooling, I'll be talking about it at the end of the video. So like heat treating, geometry and all that sort of stuff. So, watch this next bit and I'll see you at the end of the video. One more. So for hot cutting tools, tools that meet hot material, I tend not to heat treat them. And the reason for this is, as soon as that hot material touches this material, it tends to take the temper out, which is an issue. It'll soften off the blade. Now, if these get hot enough, you'll actually completely remove the heat treatment as well. And something like this thin edge here of a blade, that's going to get very hot very quickly. And that's the bit that you actually want hard. So there's no real reason to heat treat it. Now, this 4130, which is a product that I sell over on the shop, is really good for this application of being not heat treated, because it's tough inherently before it gets heat treated. It work hardens as well, and the more you use it, the more you forge it, the tougher it gets. That's just a consequence of forging, and also it's water quenching, and it's got a very low Rockwell. So even if you do get these hot and chuck them in the water, they're not likely to pop on you because they have that very low Rockwell, so they don't get hard anyway. They're just tough. So I've got a little clip coming up of me using this tool here. Now, this isn't really a hardy cut, it's more of a butcher, to be fair. And it's got one straight side and one tapered side with a radius on. And this is so, the radius is to supposedly allow it to cut through easier. I had a bit of trouble with it, you'll see that just now. And also, this is supposed to give a flat cut as opposed to giving a tapered cut, which is something like this tool would give. Now, again, I've done the same thing here. I've tried to lower the surface area by having a radius on the tool. Well, that worked reasonably well. It veered off a little bit because I made a bit of a pig's ear of it, but as you can see, you've got one flat side, which I'm really happy with, and this slightly double-ended taper side. I probably could have done that slightly differently and done 4 sides. But yeah, it did what I wanted it to do, at least, or nearly did what I wanted it to do, so I'm quite happy with that. Just need a bit more practice with it. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed this video and also you learned something. Remember, leave a like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you look down in the description, there's a couple of links to some websites, Instagram and all that stuff, so you can see all of these lovely tools for yourself. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.